I'd like to propose a question. What was the first adult-rated animated film? The glasses pushers in my audience amongst you will say 1972's Fritz the Cat. It was 4 things: perverted, provocative, protested, and immensely profitable. And being the first ever American animated X-rated film, it paved the way for adult animation to be taken more seriously. You could say that this is the first ancestor of the term adult animation. But you'd be wrong. So you know how Fritz the Cat had to add the distinction that it was specifically American animated? That's because 3 years ago in Japan, Osamu Tezuka struck the medium of adult animated feature films first. And boy, did that guy know how to stroke. My name is D Starlight, I'm 22 years old and the proud owner of the Pink Floyd album with tits on it, and welcome to Anime Rama. I'm sure you don't need an introduction to Osamu Tezuka, other than that 1, he made Astro Boy, 2, is considered the godfather of modern manga, and 3, kept drawings of anthropomorphic mouse women locked away in a drawer that was only discovered after his death. Based. He was an incredibly inspirational and quirky fellow that did a lot of avant-garde experimental stuff with the medium of anime and manga. And nowhere is that shown more than the subject of today's video, the Anime Rama trilogy. Anime Rama is a series of 3 movies produced... Did I just fucking hit my mic? Anime Rama is a series of 3 films produced by Tezuka's original production house, Mushi Productions, all in an attempt to show the world, once and for all, that animation could be so much more than just a medium for children. A stigma that he's had to fight off for literally his entire career. In order, we have 1001 Nights from 1969, Cleopatra from 1970, and Belladonna of Sadness from 1973. It is assumed all of them were financial failures in their day, especially the latter 2. Belladonna of Sadness was actually the final feature that Mushi Productions would produce before finally going financially belly up after years of trouble. And when you watch them, it quickly becomes relevant, at least on a surface level, as to why these films didn't do very well. These films are so fucking weird. They're artsy, they're abstract, they're experimental, they probably haven't aged the best in some regards. They somehow match my humor perfectly despite being older than my parents. They have tons of scenes with a completely unique style of animation compared to the rest of the film before moving on without a second thought. And that's just the things I can list before the sentence becomes a run-on. I absolutely adore these films for how bizarre and experimental they are. And while you could look at them as a desperate plea for Tezuka trying to make some cash on a whim by stooping to the adult/erotic crowd, basically what live-action films in Japan at the time with pink films were doing, to my eyes, these films represent the mind of a man with more fame than funds, trying to throw anything at the wall, seeing what sticks. And while he was never alive to truly see the residue left behind, the DNA of these films lives on into the modern day. While Fritz the Cat may be a better example of modern-day adult animation like Family Guy or some shit, the Anime Rama trilogy beats it to the punch by several years in its own unique style. And that's pretty important to highlight too. I mean, would we have the dark side of the moon without obscured by clouds? No, we probably fucking wouldn't. So today I'd like to dive into these 3 films. Their history, their plot, and occasionally I'll provide various moments from my own rewatch of them that I did for this video. It'll be fun, I promise. And if you do enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe for more dumb ideas such as this. God only knows if my next video will be shorter than 40 minutes after all. So buckle up, because it's time for our first film in the trilogy, 1969's 1001 Nights.